Hello and welcome back to Module 2 of the Microsoft Project Fundamentals. In this video, we will wrap up Module 2 by looking at the plan we started building for Mr. John for his storage and try to complete some of the tasks that needs to be done. And then we can use that to look at the other modules with the other topics. So let's pull up our plan in Microsoft Project. So basically, we've looked at adding taxes, indentation, subtax under the heading, and we can do a bit more for two things here, like so we want to build the ceiling and the roof. So here we will make two extra space in subtax, and here we will simply say install the roof, for example, and here you can say install ceiling, and we will indent them. So we select them and we go to tax, and that way they can be under the heading build the ceiling and roof. And then the last thing we would do is for the storage doors and windows, we will also make two extra space below. So we select, we insert the space, show the tax, and then let's make this one a little bit up so we can see a little bit below. Okay, it doesn't work. So here we say install Windows and then install doors. And we also make both of them subtags of the install Windows and doors. So by going to tags and doing that, and you see that the install Windows and doors contains two items. So let's try to finish up this by looking at linking all the tags such that they are arranged. So you see that your project starts on the 10th and ends on the 17th, which is like 6 days. But that's because we're yet to link a number of tags, put the dependencies. So that's what we're going to do finally. So when you finish making the foundation, which is where we stopped in the linking, and you say build a side wall. So build a side wall is a tax of its own. It doesn't have subtax, so you can put a dependency on the previous tax, which is 10. By the way, you can also put dependencies on two things. So let's say you must, before you build the side walls, you have to do two things. So let's go to building the ceiling and the roof. So here I want to put, let's say, a dependency on finishing the side wall, which is item 11. Then I put a comma, and also I should be able to have finished getting all the electrical appliances, let's say 7. So in that way there are two dependencies on it, and you see that this depends on this. So which means if there's a delay on the electrical appliances, then there will be a delay also installing the roof and also on mixing the cement. And that's what the links are. So here we just do a straightforward dependency for practice purpose. So this will be on 13. For making the flooring, and you cannot do anything when you're doing that, so that only comes, and it depends on 14. And this you can say let's link this way together. You say tax link. So I'm just showing you how to do that without typing the numbers. I can also do this and this, and go to tax and link it, and it will link it to 17. It's a fast way. And installing doors and windows can go together, so they don't need to be parallel because we want to have two people doing that, and then you can paint only after you've installed the door. So we'll put this there. And then what do you see here? So now you start seeing the dependencies, and basically we've just said if we do that, before we finish rather, my end date here would be on the 27th based on all those dependencies and work, and you see the flow of it. Some things happening in parallel, some things sequential, and my end date has to be dependent on those activities that really has to come last, or in a way that they determine the end date. In this case, it's the paint, the store, which is depending on other things which are depending on the other things. So basically, well, you can say, well, I can end the storage, the project, if I just install my door and I don't care about painting, so I can put 20. Otherwise, I can also end it when I paint the store. But then there's one more thing left. Remember, we haven't assigned the proper days for this. So which means even though we see an end date here of 28, we have to be careful, because if we update dates, it will change. Now, before we do that, remember that your end date also is, well, we'll not take the days, it depends on the other day, but we'll look at this when we come to milestones anyway. So what we will do to finalize this video is to look at all the places we haven't entered real dates. So let's say this will take, let's say 1 day, and the woods will take 2 days, and then the total material checks is 3 days. Let's go up a little bit. And for electrical appliances, would take 2 days, and for mixing the cement will take 2 days. It will suggest to you to click, want to do this faster, select the task you want. I will just say no need, I will just continue doing what I want. So 1 day, and build the sidewalls can take 4 days. So let's say this takes 4 days. And installing the roof takes 2 days. Installing the ceiling can take another 2 days. And make the flooring, we can say, well, that takes me 6 days to dry up. Install the electrical things takes me 3 days. And install the storage platform takes me 2 days. And installing the windows, 2 days. Installing the doors, 2 days. The same suggestion pops up, but no need for that. And paint the door or the store can take, let's say, 3 days, for example. And then you see everything here, and it says in total you will spend 35 days, which means you will end up at the end of February almost. And you can look at the Gantt chart here, and you can see how this flows from the 10th of January. See the line thickness showing that you have a number of tasks, the sub-tasks under this, which is like build the foundation, and you have 2 tasks of mixing the cement and make the foundation. And you can look at this and you see what it looks like on your Gantt chart. And this is where it ends. Taking the weekends into account and making sure that you know. So for Mr. John, once he does this plan, he knows, oh, okay, then I know for sure that I'm going to finish 25th of February instead of 30th of January or 18th of February, which I thought I would be able to do. Okay, and this brings us to the end of this particular video and the end of Module 2. In the next video, we will continue building on the plan, and we'll look at other aspects of Microsoft project. Thank you.